It's Nick and Mike's top 100 games. But does anyone care what they have to say? Lit. I know I don't. Cause they may dab, they might scream, they may say some things that are plain wrong. Dab on it, dab on it. But they are dumb bing bongs. Matthew Jude's better.
What's up, everybody? My name is Nick Murphy.
I'm Mike Murphy.
And we are the Brothers Murph, and this is the continuation of our top 100. We are doing 30 through 21 in this one.
Oh, 8, huh?
We're doing our top 30 through 21 today. We're getting into the tippy top at this point.
Tipples.
So let's go ahead and start. Just another reminder that we're not bought by any corporation.
Yep.
We're our own people.
We're a couple of indie board gamers.
Indeed. And so thank you all so much for being here this long. We love you all, and let's keep on cruising, Mike.
Number 30, let's get at it.
Do it!
So let's see.
Number 30 is brought to you by the X-Files.
Apparently.
Because Matthew Jude is a wonderful human who loves the X-Files, and he will lead you to believe that the truth is out there.
Sure.
And that David Duchovny's the holder of the truth.
Sure. He's Scolder or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scolder and Moldy. Yep. Good people.
Moldy.
Good people.
Mike, what's your 30?
My number 30, speaking of mystery, you ever wonder what goes on at the bottom of the ocean?
Yeah.
Do you ever think that maybe there's a bunch of political intrigue
Yeah.
and sea kelp farmers
Yeah.
and like mages and whatnot and jellyfish dudes?
Yeah.
My number 30 is a Bruno Catala game by the name of Abyss.
Bruno Katutu is the best.
Dude, Bruno Katuki, man.
Bruno's
He's
Katuto's
made
good.
many appearances on this list.
He sure has.
Several appearances on this list. Bruno Catala is a great, gentle person who makes a good game.
He makes a good game.
It makes a great game. That's a good Bruno Catala impersonation, by the way. That's exactly how he sounds.
Yeah.
Abyss is my number 30, man. It's just talk about art theme. This is oozing with it. All right, it's oozing with the theme and the art so much so that it freaks people out when they realize that it's actually a very simple game. It's
Yes.
a very light game
Yes.
that you assume is going to be some epic, very
Yeah.
complicated thing based on the art. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I think that's a cool thing. Like,
I think so too.
I think it's a good problem to have. That some people are like, okay, that's it. That's all you have to do. Okay, it's a set collection game.
Yeah.
Really, you're trying to get the right types of cards. There's 5 suits essentially. There's like shellfishies and horsies and jelly dudes and whatnot, and you're trying to incur the favor of various lords.
Yeah.
There's all these people that kind of run the underwater world that this game takes place in. And if you have the right cards and stuff, you can basically get them to come over to your side. They might give you like a little bit of a power. They might help you get pearls, which is currency in the game. And they ultimately give you your victory points. And we play with the Leviathan expansion that we were actually gifted from Bruno because it's sort of like in this like production, distribution, purgatory where like, I don't know if it'll ever come to the U.S. and it's really unfortunate.
know.
But we play with that, which kind of just adds another little element to the game that takes it up to the next level. And just like, I love it. And this is a game that always stops people dead in their tracks with the art. So this is like a game that I can say pretty much 100% gets by on its art. Like, I want it in my life for that art. And then like, it's a fun, simple game underneath it. But really, I just like will trip out on the cards and be like, dude, you know what I mean? And look at the jelly dudes and whatnot. So
Jelly dudes.
my number 30 is Abyss. What you got, Nick?
See, here's the thing about Abyss, is I always assume that all those underwater lords, the way they mostly sound is like, hey,
You're gonna come over to me with only 3 pearls?
you
Come on.
Yeah, you know, I'm opening the pizza shop down there in the New York sector.
No anchovies, right? That's just my cousin's an anchovy.
My number 30 is New York Slice.
Oh, that was gonna be Abyss.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's like, hey, you open a pizza shop down in the... I was trying to make a good segue. That didn't work.
I helped you out though.
Because
The
it made
anchovies
no
is a big
sense.
part of New York Slice. Good call. Number 30, right on.
Yeah, New York
Wow.
Slice. I really like New York
do.
Slice. New York Slice is probably my... I'll have to look, but my guess is it's my favorite like filler game. It's a great I Split You Choose, which I think is the most underused mechanic in board games, where you have a pizza pie, and there's a whole bunch of different kinds of pizza. There's like combination and sausage and mushroom, which is the best pizza ever. Pepperoni, black olives, and mushroom is objectively the best pizza ever made.
Shots fired, man. I'm a Hawaiian
And
pizza guy.
essentially, you're separating the pizza when you're the slicer. You're doing a little of this, you're doing a little of that.
Slicing like the most.
You're slicing, and you're trying to make the best, I guess, portions you can. Because after that, all the players are going to get to choose a portion, and you're going to get to choose last. So you want to give people enough of what they want, but you want to leave yourself with
make sure you can get something that's useful.
Yeah, exactly. And it's essentially kind of like a set collection game. You're trying to collect the numbers of pizza. So you want more 7s than anything else, because all the different types of pizza have a number attached to them. Like pepperoni mushroom is 8. So you're like, okay, if I have 5 8s at the end of the game,
and I have the majority.
Yeah, I have the majority of 8s. That means I'm going to get 8 points. If you have the most 11s, that means you're going to get 11 points. So you're vying for control of the pie, essentially. And yeah, and it's great. And it's super simple, super fun. And it's like, plays up to 6 players, and it plays in less than 30 minutes. It is honest to God, a filler that's like a big, kind of cool, awesome looking, kind of involved filler. But ultimately, that's what it is. It's simple and light and fun.
Plays quick.
And I've played it with a bunch of different people. It's just great. I love New York Slice. I really love it. Yeah, so that's my number 30, New York Slice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good call, man.
Yeah.
Good call. It is really good filler.
It's so good. So good. All right, it's 30. Let's roll into 29.
Right now.
20s.
Oh.
29.
All right, number 29. Number 29 is brought to you by Rocket Transportation, Inc. You know, you're in the middle of LA traffic. You know what you got to do? You got to rocket.
What does that even mean?
You get in your car, and so you start doing this in your car, and your car starts moving forward, and people get out of your way because they think you're crazy.
Just drive erratic?
Yeah, just drive erratically. Rocket! Boom, you probably can't see it because this is like bright green. That's an issue. But nonetheless, my 29 is a game that Mike mentioned, I believe in the last list. It is a game that is also just so pretty. It is a game about evolution, because it is called Evolution.
Oh, yes.
Evolution is a great game. It's a great game.
Highly rated by you, yeah.
Yeah, I really like Evolution. Evolution, especially Evolution Climate, which in my opinion is like the way to play it. It's a game where you are essentially making species and going through evolution, and scientists say, like, yeah, this is pretty much the most accurate representation of what evolution is.
And adaptations.
And stuff like that, because essentially it's you trying stuff and you constantly switching out traits. Like, oh, I'm going to have horns. Okay, horns are helping me now, but eventually I don't really need horns anymore, so you're going to switch it out for like a hard shell, or you're going to switch it out for like climbing or like burrowing. And essentially your species are constantly switching and changing and adapting to the differing, like, environment, you know, because you have the climate environment.
Off, you know?
Yeah, or you have different people. You're like, oh, this person is a predator, so I need to start developing some traits that protect me from predators and stuff. And you're doing all this different stuff to adapt, and you're just trying to eat. Ultimately, if you have the most food at the end of the game, that means you win. And with the climate expansion, you start moving into climate. Like sometimes there's like a cold snap. You know, things are generally nice, pleasant, and there's a cold snap. Cold snap. And as a cold snap, it gets really cold all of a sudden. You're like, wow, it's freaking cold, dude. And then it's just like, and then some of your people die off. But it's so much fun. And it's pretty light ultimately. And it's just great. You can play up to 6. I think it's best around 4. Yeah. But it's just, and the art is just like, oh, gosh, it's beautiful. They're also coming out with Evolution Oceans, I think this year or next year.
Yeah.
I think next year. Which is like the same thing, but in the oceans, and I'm like, that's interesting. We've talked about like what could it be?
What would that be?
So I'm super intrigued to see the new version of it as well. It's just Evolution is a great game that also teaches about evolution in kind of a cool way. If you're a science teacher, it'd honestly be a great game to play.
Yeah,
because it's like, hey, this is kind of how this happens.
And
you know?
it's simple. It's simple to explain, like the way the cards work and stuff.
Totally. So I love Evolution. I think it's a great game. It's gorgeous. It's simple. North Star knocking out of the park. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Nice. My number 29. I can't remember if it's been mentioned by you. It's a Viking worker placement game. We've talked about other Viking worker placement games, but this is kind of the game that, to me, most perfectly balances between Euro and Amerithrash. It is Champions of Midgard.
It is on my list, but it was way up.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. So it's a dice chucking good time where you're Vikings going around to different spaces in town and stuff to get warriors, which are represented by dice. So you have white dice, or like swordsmen, and then axemen and spear folk and whatnot. And you're ultimately then going to fight trolls and Drugars and Fenrirs and whatnot.
Gary Busey.
And so you can go like take long ships across the way to fight these legendary monsters. And that's really what it's about. It's just collecting these like points via, you're getting glory. You want to be the most glory, bound person. And it's just really fun because it's like, I like that it's worker placements. You think, oh, Euro, but then like you're just chucking dice ultimately. Like that's what it's about. And your people are going to die and whatnot, but that's okay because it's like glorious, so it's worth it to fight, the noble wolf or whatever. And then with the Valhalla expansion, which I know you mentioned, you then get like tokens for fallen warriors, so it actually becomes kind of advantageous to not have everyone make it through the fight. And you can trade in for like awesome, cool special warriors and Valkyries and whatnot. It's just super cool. It's just a fun game that we love to play every so often that really does kind of toe the line. If you don't have time for like a zombie side to go real big Amerithrash, like play Champions of Midgard, kind of live in the middle. It's A-okay, and that's my number 29.
Cool,
Champions of Midgard.
All right. Let's roll on 28.
Let's do it right now.
28.
I'm calling it right now. Double crossover. You ready?
Right now?
Yeah.
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Have I mentioned this one?
100% sure. Like I'm about 1,000% sure it's not going to be double crossover.
Right, I don't want to put money on it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, but my 28 is, in fact, something... I think I like it so much because we have so little of it here in LA.
Money?
Yeah, Money the game.
Classic Stonemeyer.
Where everybody loses. No, it's seasons, man.
Oh.
In LA, we don't have much for seasons.
No.
We don't have much in the way of seasons here. And so I think I like to play a game that celebrates the change of seasons in an abstract-ish kind of way. It's a great game where you're rolling out different dice depending on what season you're in that are going to have resources like these little energy tokens. So if you're in spring, you're going to get a lot of these green energy tokens. And once you move into summer, it turns into fire energy tokens. And they're basically the 4 natural elements. And then this happens a lot. And you use all of those tokens to play cards, to transmute into crystals, which are ultimately your points. And so it is this game that has just really great art and stuff. I don't really quite know how to classify it.
Engine? I don't know if it's even engine building.
I mean, some of the cards will help build an engine for you.
I would say ultimately it's engine building game.
Sort of, yeah, in a way. But this is like also like the first experience I ever had with drafting and what that means.
You draft the very beginning.
And then that's really the only time that you deal with that. But like that kind of gave me the concept of drafting, which is really fun. It's one of our favorite games to play. We love playing it 2-player. We play it 3-player.
It scales really well. Yeah.
Sometimes we play 3-player, and it's just a great game. I love Seasons. We got to play at Dice Hour Con with Matthew Jude, and it was just a great game.
We got to remedy this for Matthew Jude.
Yeah, because he had a bad experience once. We're like, I think you're gonna like the game. Maybe it's just a bad experience. He played with us. He's like, oh, I love it, and bought the game immediately. And I was like, all right, cool.
Right, baby. Seasons for life, baby.
Convert him.
Because Seasons, I feel like it was a game that no one ever talks about. And
it has great art. Is it in the world of other
Dice Forge? That world.
That kind of world with the art and stuff. And it's just
Lord of Zidit or whatever that one is. It's all the same universe.
So it's a really cool, beautiful, vibrant game with good chunky dice. And I love it. And it's just one of those ones that like no one talks about. No one talks about Seasons. I'm like, it's a solid game. Why don't people talk about this game? So, anyway.
My number 28 is a game that's been mentioned before. Mike thought we were going to have a double crossover right here. We did not.
I was like, it's just going to be Seasons for 28.
Hey, man. It's it is not Seasons. It is Ex Libris. Ex Libris is a great worker placement game that I like, and I think it's a little higher on my list because I actually really like playing Ex Libris solo.
I haven't done that yet.
Ex Libris also, on top of everything Mike said, I think last list, about how thinky it is and how cool it is, Ex Libris, you're essentially organizing and cataloging a fantasy library. So you're like some fantasy creature, like a trash golem or something like that, and you have your own library, and you're putting things in alphabetical and numerical order, and you're trying to collect certain kinds of books, all that kind of stuff. Super thinky, way more thinky than you think it's going to be. It's a fairly involved game. Yeah. But the reason I think it's elevated even more is because it's really fun solo. And the solo game plays, at least in terms of how you play with your opponents and stuff, plays pretty differently than the normal game. Especially the way that the locations work play very, very differently than the normal game, where in the normal game is you start off with very few locations and more locations come out. In the solo game, it's just the opposite. You start at the thing, and then each round you have to get rid of 2. So as you go, you're getting rid of more and more. Yeah, and it's very interesting, and you're playing against like the public library, and they're just like so much better than you. And like and the cool thing is, though, is like you can scale the game to make it difficult. You can make it like pretty easy, but then you can literally get to a point of an area, a level that's literally just called impossible. Where like they're like, this is impossible to win. And I'm like, that's interesting. So I really like it. Ex Libris is a great worker placement game with a really cool theme, like categorizing a library is kind of cool, and then put it in this really beautiful fantasy world, even cooler.
Yeah.
And on top of that, if you like solo gaming, it's a solid solo game. And so Ex Libris is wonderful. I love it. It is my 28. Unfortunately, it's not Seasons, but it is Ex Libris, and I love it.
Next up is a double crossover. I know it.
Yep, maybe.
Maybe.
I'll see. 27.
Let's do it.
27.
All right, so we are into 27, and 27 is not sponsored by, but brought to you by International Delight. You might notice that we drink coffee quite often here on our videos, and we always have International Delight in there. We're not sponsored by them, we just really want to be.
Very true.
Because it would save us a lot of money in grocery bills, because
So
in a
many.
mug like this, you're about yay with creamer, and just this tip part is coffee.
Yeah.
So like we could save a lot of money if we got sponsored by them.
Yeah.
So if anyone knows any hookups with people that work in a factory of International Delight,
yeah.
if you can get a pallet of the sweet cream to fall off the back of a truck and
Yeah.
it gets mailed to us,
Conveniently, yeah. Come on.
just like,
okay?
all right,
Okay.
just please, I need more
Perfect.
coffee. I'm out, but
Let's move into the 27. Yeah, I know. That's not enough.
not
That's
enough. That's not even a cup.
But 27. 27 is a game that Mike mentioned a long time ago. It is a Dice Tower Essential. Arcane Wonders?
Yeah,
That's a joke brought back from a while ago.
I know. No one watched those early lists.
Arcane Wonders,
respect
Dice
it.
Tower Essential, and this is a game called Viral.
Viral.
Viral is a great area control game. I think my favorite area control game, if I have to look. But if not, it's one of my favorite, where you are viruses that are overtaking a body, essentially. You are just infecting the whole body. It can infect the brain or the lungs or the stomach or the pancreas or wherever. You know, you can infect all these
Kidneys.
the kidneys, either one kidney or both kidneys, you know, and so you're infecting it and you have these viruses and you're playing cards, and the cards can do a whole bunch of stuff. They can move your viruses around, they can add more viruses, they can attack other viruses. You can do a whole bunch of different stuff, and you're vying for control of the organs, essentially. But the cool part is it has a really cool catch-up mechanism where if someone is like crushing it, which is fairly common, that someone will just be playing real well, crushing it. But the thing is, as you do better and better and better, you gain more and more, I guess, notice is what you gain. The
attention to
scientists
yourself.
who are trying to save this individual, and they definitely don't, he definitely dies. The scientists who are trying to save this individual eventually find like a cure, or at least somewhat of an antidote for you, and you get wiped out of the body, and then you have to come back in through the ears. I don't know. But you essentially have to come back in, and so eventually you can get wiped out in the next few turns. You're probably going to be struggling to get back in a little bit. So it's got this really cool where like you're never really out of it. It's always
Yeah.
a pretty tight game, and it's just an amazing game with really great, it's got a great look, and it's got such cutesy art. And despite the fact the game is pretty mean, because you're like pushing each other around and like killing each other and all this kind of stuff, but like the pancreas is mine and all this kind of stuff.
Give me the liver. I want
I
the
want
liver.
the liver. It's like, it doesn't feel mean. I think it's because the art and all the viruses are different. They're very cute and very fun. It's just, it's so much fun. And this is a game that
Fantastic
like
game.
doesn't get played nearly enough.
I think it'd be higher for me if we got it to the table more often. We
Yeah.
always want to, and we just like feel
You
like
really
we can't
need
convince people
You
to
need
play
three
it.
people. Yeah, and yeah, that's a problem. I bring it to game night, I think, every single week. And just getting people to play is tough for whatever reason. It's just a hard pitch, you know, but I love it. And Viral is my 27. I love it, 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 love it.
Love it.
Love it.
Boom. That's your my 27.
Yeah.
Yes. My 27. I like this game a lot. This is a city building game, tile laying game, all about trying to build your own borough. And it is by the name of Suburbia. Suburbia, man. I love this game so much.
So do I.
It's so fun. You're just building out your little borough, and you're putting in all these different types of buildings and stuff. So you have business buildings. You have kind of development and factory type buildings. You have residential areas. You have civic buildings and things. And you're trying to build out the best kind of town you can that's going to give you the most reputation, which will help bring people to your town.
Yeah.
You want people to live there. You want to have the highest population by the end. That's your points.
Yeah.
But there's this really everything's based on like what is sitting next to what. Like you don't want a school next to a slaughterhouse. It's a bad vibe.
Generally, it's not
right.
good.
You don't want the apartment complex next to the cemetery. It bums people out.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And like I really love the idea of like, yeah, if you put if you put a neighborhood next to an airport, you're going to lose reputation because like people don't want to live under an airport.
Yeah.
So you have to think about these things about like, well, what goes where and how do we set up this area to make the most money, and to be able to buy more buildings and develop further and to get more people. And the cool thing is that as you grow, it becomes harder and harder to keep your reputation and your revenue up.
Yes.
Because there's more people living there, soaking up your cash. The people don't want to live in a big city. They want a small town feel. So your reputation goes into the gutter as you're going up. And so it just becomes this challenge to like just keep the engine moving forward, keeping progress moving forward. And it's so fun every single time we play. We played almost exclusively 2-player. I love it at 2-player.
Scales
but
great.
it plays great
no matter
at 3
what,
and 4 as well. It scales awesome.
I just played it at 4 recently at game night, and it was great. Yeah,
it's a fantastic game. And like, I just can't say enough about it. It's just fun to build out your city and try to think of like where things should go. And every time you play it, your city just looks different based on what's available, what you can afford to develop. Do you put lakes in because you just need to get money and you want to make it look fantastic and you have little goals. So maybe that's going to help serve your goals, which might change your strategy a little bit. It's just a great game. Suburbia.
Great. Yeah, I agree.
Pow.
Everything he said. Yep.
That's what I said.
All right. That was 27?
Yeah, that's
all right. Let's roll on to 26.
26.
Number 26 is brought to you by cauliflower rice. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's all right.
It's fine.
You know what's better than fine, though? You know what game is better than fine? It's a great game. It's a money sink game. It's the game that we have that's our money sink game. We haven't sunk much money into it because we don't have money, but when we do, we'll sink money into that game. It's Lord of the Rings, the card game.
Yeah, that checks out. The second we have money, it'll go.
It's going right there,
yeah,
but we don't have it, so I'm sorry, we're going to have to wait. It's a Lord of the Rings card game. So Nick's talked about this game. It's just awesome sort of campaign-y, deck building, deck crafting game where you choose a few heroes for your quest that are all based in the Lord of the Rings mythology. So you have all the big hitters from the movies we all love. You got Aragorn and Boromir and stuff, and then you get into characters that are deep from the books and everything like that, which is really satisfying. I like that they go into all these different areas from the books and from the general mythos, really. Yeah. And it's just been fun to kind of explore, and we have all these aspirations to kind of go through the saga series and stuff. We're going through the Lord of the Rings books in order, and something that we want to hopefully be able to get. But it's as Nick was saying, it's tricky because expansions go out of print, and they come back into print, then sell out again, and there's just all these things. We're like, well, we kind of want to play it in order that they were all released, but.
Yeah. What I'm really waiting for is this. Can I check like eBay or BGG every once in a while? Someone being like, "Hey, I'm getting rid of all my Lord of the Rings card again." Here it is. It's much cheaper. Like that's what I'm just banking on.
Hoping
and let's know the brothersmurph@gmail.com.
But yeah, so it's just a great game. It's really fun because we love Lord of the Rings. We're longtime fans, and it's fun just to play this game. And a lot of the encounters are very difficult, which I really appreciate because it gives you that feeling of like overwhelming odds, and then you finally overcome it after maybe several tries, and you put together the right cards, and you're like, oh, that hero didn't quite work, let's try this hero, and you try to like put together the best thing to give yourself the best odds. And it's really fun. So Lord of the Rings card game is my 26.
It is grand. My number 26 is
double crossover.
Sure isn't. Because I mentioned that one last list. But this one's a little bit of, and at last I see the light.
I'm surprised.
And it's like the fire yet lifted.
I'm surprised this is this low for you.
No, it was probably unnecessary. We did our top 10 last year. This became my top 10. This is Lanterns. Lanterns, the Harvest Festival. I love the game Lanterns much more than this.
I was very surprised it was that high last year. Now I'm surprised that it's this low, and it's not that low.
It's like 26. It's still pretty darn high for this kind of game. I don't know. I've always been immensely enamored with this game. Been like, I don't know. There's something about it. I mean, it's like set collection and stuff, but like, I just love it. I don't know what it is. But I just love the way it's a game where you're collecting lanterns. It's a set collection game. You have tiles, and the tiles have different colors and different types of lanterns on them, and you're putting them out on the board. But it's very, very cool because it's a game with like zero downtime. Because when you put a tile out, whatever lantern is facing that player, they're going to get that card. So even on my turn, when I put out this tile, I'm going to get the lanterns pointing towards me, but Mike's going to get the lanterns pointing towards him. Karen's going to get the lanterns pointing towards her, and then Mary's going to get the lanterns pointing towards her. So every single turn, you're getting cards. Yeah. So you want to make sure you're giving yourself the cards, but not really giving everyone else the cards that they want. And so it's just this weird manipulation of that, and then you're turning in these cards to essentially get points. Yep. And it's just... I don't know what it is. It's simple and it's really, really pretty. And it's just, I don't know. I love the idea that there's zero downtime because you're always getting something. But on top of that, it moves. You're just like, all right, place the thing. Boom. I'm going to turn this in. Cool. Dum, bum, dum, bum, bum. And then that's it. And it's just a lovely game. I love Lanterns. It still stays this high for a game that like everyone kind of likes, but like no one really like loves, you know, at least not as much. I don't really see it on many people like top 10s and stuff, but I really love Lanterns. I've always loved it. And the love is still strong.
Yeah. Boom.
Yeah.
There you go.
Lanterns. Love it.
25.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
25.
Number 25 is brought to you, unfortunately, by novelty mugs. Novelty cups and mugs. Like, these kinds of things, they have a funny joke on them. Ha, ha, ha. They're not funny.
Silly.
Only a fool would get them.
Just knock it off.
Come on, people. Like, we get it.
Yeah.
It's got a dad joke on it. You know, whatever. But nonetheless, my number 25 is a game also by Renegade Games. Lanterns is by Renegade Games as well. And this is one of two games I can honest to God say, like, from the second I heard about it, from the second I saw the box cover, not knowing anything about the mechanics, not knowing anything about the game, I was just like, I have to play it. I have to play it. And again, it wasn't necessarily because of the theme. It was just there was something visceral in me that was like, I need to play this game. I'm going to love it. And I do. That game is Castel.
All right. Yeah.
Castel is a game about Castel and Castellers. You know, those are those big human towers that are made in Catalonia in Spain and such. And that's what the game is about, which is such a cool theme. And this game, I was just like, what a weird, cool theme. That's awesome. And then the cover is one of my favorite covers in all of board games. And it's just, I don't know. I was so intrigued by it. And then we finally played it and just, oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's really, really thinky. You're essentially going around different parts of Spain and you're putting on performances and you're getting more and more Castellers. All your Castellers have their little tiles with Castellers on them. And they all have numbers. There's 10s and 9s and 8s and 7s and 6s. And as they get, the number goes down, they become smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where you have like, 3, 2, and 1. They're like kids, and that's real life. The people on the very, very top of these towers are always like 5-year-old kids, which is awesome in my opinion.
Crazy.
But it's like, and it's so cool. You have like the big burly men are 10, and these big burly women are 9, and then an 8 slightly less burly and slightly less burly and slightly less burly, all the way up to the kids. They're just sitting on top like, ah. And it's just, but the game is tough and thinky, and there's different performances are going on in different cities all around Catalonia. But the different competitions call for different Castellers. So like this competition over here in Barcelona, they want 10s, 4s, and 7s. And so to participate in this competition, you have to have at least 1 10, 1 4, and 1 7. Yeah. So you have to make sure you have the people you need, and then you're trying to build the best tower. And it's just so cool and so awesome. And again, way deeper than you think it's going to be. And it's just... oh, I love it so much. I think it's going to go up from here, to be completely honest. I absolutely adore this game.
Indeed. Much better than a novelty mug, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, indeed.
Good call, man. Good call. My number 25 is kind of like... It's just a throwback in every way, all right? It's made by Restoration Games, so you expect that, but it's like, it's just beyond. So it's their newest game, Fireball Island.
The ultimate throwback, yeah.
Yeah, just because, like, it's this, like, you're flicking marbles around, and, like, that's, like, it's so reminiscent of...
What's not fun about that, though?
Yeah, but it's like, so much, like, reminds me of being a kid. It's like this big 3D board, and you're flicking marbles, trying to knock people over and whatnot. And so, like, when this game first got announced, you're kind of like, okay, I think that'll work. Then when we finally got a chance to play it, I was like, this is super fun. Yeah. Because you forget, like, hey, there's a reason that stuff's marketed toward kids. It's fun. It's just fun to play.
But as the base game though was fun, but like ultimately was not a good game. It was just the novelty was fun.
The old one.
Yes, the old one. Yes.
So this one they really did spruce up some stuff by getting rid of the dice and putting like movement cards instead, so you have a little bit more choice in what you're doing.
Yeah.
But then also keeps like all the randomness of just like shooting marbles.
I maintain
around.
it makes the crazy chaotic nature worse than the original, which I think is a great thing, you know?
Yeah, no, it's just silly and ridiculous. There's times where Volcar gets crazy and you just drop like a bunch of marbles in his head and the marbles are going everywhere and you're like, there's no way to like
no prediction.
make that good for anyone. It's just like stuff's gonna happen. You can try to do trick shots, you can talk smack and whatnot. And like we had so much fun at Gen Con playing it. We were just cracking up over it and like yes, it's jumped way high on this list. I have no idea if it's gonna stay this high or not, but like it was just a breath of fresh air. Like Clask was highly rated on my list. It was in the last list. Like I clearly loves things like that just get you pumped up and are silly. Like I think we need more of that in our lives, and for every Castell I like to see something on the flip side like
100%.
Fireball Island where it's just like
there's no shame in having like a silly game high up on your list. Like,
not at all. Yeah, and so Fireball Island's just like fun and a half, man. It's just silly and it moves quickly, which is something I really appreciate. That like you're running around trying to get treasure, trying to take pictures and stuff to get points, and then the game's over, so it doesn't outstay its welcome.
No.
Which we played this like epic game of Fireball Island, the old one, once upon a time, which was like super fun, but it was long.
Yeah,
it was real long, and I was like.
It was like 4 hours.
This is fun, but I don't have this much love in me for this game that I didn't play as a kid. And the new one is like snappy and quick. And like, I'm much more down with this timeline for sure. So anyway, Fireball Island is my 25.
All right.
Have you not finished all the liquid in that thing yet?
You don't know my life.
Let's do 24. He's going to be a minute.
24.
Double crossover. No,
I highly doubt that. I think you're going to be very upset.
Oh, really?
Maybe. Go on.
Oh, I'm already angry at you. My number 24 is mentioned by Nick about 1,000 years ago because Nick's a hater. And I'm a lover. Oh, you hate everything. I don't know. I just don't understand you and your list anymore. I'm finding out more and more about you every day, and I don't like what I see.
That's fair.
My number 24 has been mentioned by Nick before. It's a game we played at Dice Tower Con. It's a game that we don't own yet, but it's very highly listed. I hope to own it very soon when Northstar releases it here stateside. It is Quacksalber von Quedlinburg.
This is that high.
Hell yeah, I love that game, dude. The game's amazing.
That's great. I love it too. That is so high. Wow.
It just kept rising because it was so fun, man.
You love it. Yo, you loved it.
It's such a fun press your luck game. So Nick and I played it at Dice Tower Con. I got to play a couple games of it in German. So like Dave Lewis that comes up and like explains the base game is like, that's how you play, and bye, and he walks off. And we're like, all right, so we play a game, and there's like these little event cards. They're not bad. They just like add little things for you.
Yeah, stuff going on.
And so the first game that we played with Nick, and Nick was talking about this, we didn't play with those cards. We're like, I don't know what these are, so we'll skip it. And the second game, I got lucky enough to play with Dave right there, so he would read out the cards every round, so we got to play with the other things, and that took it even further. It's so fun. It's just a straight up press your luck game.
So yeah,
you're pressing your luck. You hope to survive and get some money and stuff to be able to buy different little tokens, which go into your bag, which you draw out, and you're building like this cauldron and trying to build like stronger and stronger things where you basically go longer without busting. And it was so fun. It was so fun. I've just been enamored with it. I wanted it ever since. I can't wait for Northstar to release it so we can get it. This is my 24.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It'll be the Quacks of Quedlinburg when it releases here.
I know we're gonna get it the second we can.
It's so
second we can.
Fun.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great. It's gonna climb for me. I'm pretty sure. It's just like, yeah, that's awesome.
It was a perfect like situation to play too, because we're at like Dice Tower Con.
It was great.
So we're out there in Florida. We're getting to meet all these people in person for the first time. So I was like having a great. It was actually the night before the con started. So it's very much like we played this game in this great, amazing atmosphere and time, and it just made for like a very memorable, excellent experience. So yeah, couldn't be happier with
that's
it.
Fine. That's fine. Totally fine. My number 24 is again, it's gonna be higher on this guy's list, and that is Terraforming Mars. It's 24. It's pretty good. I like Terraforming Mars a lot. Obviously, it's my 24.
Not even in the teens.
I knew it.
What is wrong with you, man?
I knew it. I love Terraforming Mars. It's a great, great game.
Not even that. The first digit couldn't be a 1.
No,
it could be 19.
Couldn't be a 1, dude. It ain't happening. Terraforming Mars is a great, wonderful game by Stronghold Games, a game where you are terraforming Mars. I love this game. We were both pretty heavy haters on this game before we played. We were just like, it's because it was so hyped up. We were like, it can't possibly be worth the hype.
There's no way.
It was. We played it, and we played the first game was a horrible experience because the rulebook is not good.
It's just us in our game cafe, like, struggling.
Just struggling and not having a good time playing it, really hating it because of and yet for some reason afterwards we're both like, man, I want to play it again. Yeah. Even though we did not have a good experience, and that goes to show just how good this game is. And then we went back and played it correctly. We watched like a couple like how-to videos and stuff, figured it out. And then we played it once, and we were like, "Oh, dang, that's good.
This might be something. Let's try it one more time."
I think what keeps it from being higher on my list is something we talked about last time we were playing. We were playing it the other night. Is the fact that because we don't draft in the game, and I know people are like, "Well, you got to draft. That's your problem." We're not going to. Too bad. Like it slows the game down way too much. Even like a 2-player game, I'm like, no. I would rather have the game be quicker and me have this problem with it than us draft and have the game take so much longer. And the problem is like you can kind of get hosed by the card draws you get because you're drawing 4 cards. And there's been a couple times where like I've been building up my strategy around a couple things. I have really good titanium production. I'm going to kind of focus on that, get some space cards going. And then for like 6 or 7 turns in a row, I drew literally 0 space cards. Yeah. And so I'm like, I have all this titanium. I can't do anything with it.
It's a problem.
And it's like, man, I kind of built my engine up for this. And now like my engine can't work, not through any fault of my own, but just because I can't draw a card that helps it all.
And there's no like mechanism really to draw more cards.
No, not
other
really.
Than placing something on a space that might allow you to draw 1 card, or maybe playing a card that lets you draw like 1 card, but you can get stuff.
Fine. And ultimately, like it's 24. I still love the game, but there are times like that where I get kind of like, this isn't going my way, and it's not because of anything I'm doing.
Yeah.
But like I think that's what keeps it from being like in the teens or maybe even in the top 10 to be completely honest. But I really love it. We just got Prelude recently. Now I'm like never not playing with Prelude.
Oh man, Prelude.
Because it jumpstarts the game. I'm interested in colonies. This is one of those games where there's an expansion. We're like, yeah, we're just going to get it. I just want more and more stuff for the game. I love it. Terraforming Mars, my 24.
Yeah. If you have any suggestions, by the way, of like ways you house rule, because I was thinking like maybe we can draw 6 cards. And you can only buy, if you want them all, 4. Maximum of 4. So it still keeps it to that, but gives you like a little bit more chance. I don't know. Anyway, good call. And we're going to continue to get stuff for it because it's fun to think about, and you might see it on my list later. I can't remember if it's on there or not. But let's go into number 23.
23.
Let's get it.
23.
Ozzy Osbourne's Scream World Tour.
Scream Cups.
Wonder what a Scream Cup would sound like.
I'll try it out.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Cool.
But I look at the Sharon's dressing room.
I got the bad one.
Yeah. Sure. Try this one.
Try this one.
Open the door. And a dressing table.
My number 23 is our most played game ever. It is Marvel Legendary. Legendary deck building. I don't know what it's called. I hate games with the really long titles.
Marvel, a legendary deck building game?
Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, Marvel Legendary is my number 23. I really love this game. There was a time when we first got this game. We played it 2 or 3 times a week for probably close to a year.
And we'd play
at least
2 games each time we played.
Yeah, and an average of at least 2 or 3 games each. We play it back to back to back. We played it so much. We're buying every expansion, and then just inevitably we ended up kind of cooling on it. Not cooling down. It's 23. It's not like that.
Still love it every time we play, but it does hit the table less often.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like how could it not? It's just we played it. We loved it, and Mike's girlfriend at the time, like that was her favorite game, and so she always wanted to play it, and we were always like down, and just we would play it all the time.
It was so often to be like, oh, what should we play? We should play this. We can play that. We can play that. I want to play Legendary, and you're like, I kind of want to play Legendary. Let's play Legendary.
Yeah, exactly. Because at this point, I think we have over 100 heroes, and the last expansion we got was Civil War, and there's been a decent amount of expansions after Civil War at this point, and we have, I think, over 100 heroes. There's like 25 villain groups. We have like 20 masterminds. I mean, the variability in just of what we have is probably in the trillions. I mean, to be completely honest, in terms of like how many different games you could play. So it was great. We got a randomizer. There's a couple randomizers online. We have one of them. So we literally just boom, hit random. It gives you random everything, random mastermind, villain groups, hero groups, and you just go, let's see if we can make it work. And then you just play like that, and it's so much fun. We just played it the other night because rest in peace, Stanley. Love you.
Bam, love you, dude.
And just it's still so fun. It's so great to just get a ragtag group of heroes and be like, let's see if we can beat Kingpin, and just going after it. And I love this game so much. Still our most played game. Probably won't get beaten for a long time, honestly.
Can't imagine.
And I still love it. I still love it to death.
Right on, dude.
Yep.
My number 23 is a great game where you're trying to be an accommodating hotelier to your guests.
Okay.
Trying to make sure that they have everything they need. It is Grand Austria Hotel.
I thought you liked this game.
I do quite like it. It's 23 and it's a game we don't even own yet.
Interesting.
If we own it, it's going to be in the teens.
It's probably true.
You know a game we own a lot of stuff for? Marvel Legendary.
That's true.
Terraforming Mars. All right?
No, great.
You hater.
Grand Austria Hotel.
Grand Austria Hotel is a fantastic game.
So
it's
good.
this highly rated and we don't even own it yet. We want to get it. It's just this cool game where you get different guests so you can basically bring into your cafe and you try to give them, coffee and wine and cake and things, all the things they want before they ultimately go off to their room. So you prepare a room for them and you're just trying to gain victory points and money and influence for when the Emperor visits. There's this Emperor track. And it's a tough game. It's really tough because you roll out these dice and then based on the number, they get assigned to one of 6 actions. So there might be a turn where there's a lot of the number 5 action. And you're like, I really need strudel, man. And that's on the 1 and 2.
I need strudel, dude.
I don't need these 5s, And so you're just struggling. It hurts, man.
It's hard.
It's really hard, but it's really fun. And it does a whip draft. So if it's like a 3-player game, it'll be a player 1, 2, 3, then 3, 2, 1. So if you're third, you get kind of last picks, but you get to go twice in a row. Yeah. So that keeps it really interesting, and that rotates around as you go. And it's just really fun trying to figure out which guests to bring to the cafe based on what you think you'd be able to quickly provide them and then get them out the door so you can get whatever bonus you get from them. You can get different employees that give you little bonuses and things like that, little abilities, and it's just super fun. I cannot wait to get this game.
Yeah.
And I think it will go up when we do own it.
I think so.
do.
We'll play it. We're going to play it a lot. It's just going to happen.
Oh, yeah. It's going to get played often.
Yeah. All right, number 23. Let's move on. Number 22. Cruise.
Wow.
22.
Let's do it. But first of all, you know what I want to talk about? Cutco knives.
Cutco knives are great.
You know what? And if you hold it like this, people are less apt to hear your sales pitch. I don't get it. Why don't people want to hear about great knives?
It's true. Especially when they have so many innovative different cuts and different knives. They're brand new, what people don't know about, but they have their brand new home intruder knife.
Yes.
This is great for it's great for fending off bandits. It's also great for fending off monsters and animals of different kinds. Also fillets a heck of a salmon.
Oh, dude!
I mean,
it fends off hunger like no one's business.
This is a great knife. It goes right next to your sentoku knife or your bread knife. It's really, really great. Cutco home intruder knife. Get yours today.
Do you know what game I love and what I've realized about this section of the list? This section of the list is my Bombix section of the list. All my Bombix games are right here.
Is that right?
In this 10. We've had Abyss, we've had Season, next and most likely, Histrio, baby.
Oh, Seasons isn't Bombix.
Isn't it?
No.
It's Lebeled.
Lebeled or whatever it's called.
Oh, well, who cares? Both of our Bombix games are in this list anyway, so...
It's similar. They're both very. Lebeled also has very high quality.
They're next to it on our shelf. They're next to each
that
other.
is very true.
I always do that because they always have art heavy stuff.
Yes.
So what it is Lebeled has art heavy stuff. Bombix has art and then component heavy stuff.
Yes.
So Histrio, either way, whatever number or whatever brand it is,
Histrio,
is my number 22.
Should be higher.
Should be higher. Should be higher. You want?
Has it showed up on my list, Mike?
Is the list
has it showed up on my list, Mike?
Because it's a double crossover.
You think it's 104? I don't think it's 104. It might be 4.
This is like through the middle. You're like, oh, who cares? That's a fine number. Now you get to the 20s, and now everything's personal. You're like, are you serious?
Talk about another Bruku's Katukles.
Okay, here's the thing. Bruno Catala makes great games. We love them. Histrio is all about trying to put on a play for the king. And you want to put on a play that suits the king's mood, and the king's very fickle. The king goes back and forth between wanting comedy and tragedy. And you got to try to make sure that you have either great comedians or tragedians in your troupe to put on the right kind of play, lest you not make that mad skrill, right? You don't get that money. So in the game, you're trying to recruit actors, and they're all anthropomorphized animals in the game. Very beautiful art. So you have actors, you have comedians, tragedians of different levels from 1 to 5, 5 being more powerful, more influential than ones. And then you also have acrobats, which are these little performers that have like abilities, like once per season abilities that you can tap and use. And you're going through 2 seasons. After the first one, you see like, where's the king's mood? The king wants a comedy. You look at how many actors you have in comedy and tragedy, you add up the numbers, whatever the higher one is, you have that type of play.
Yep.
And then if you have a really strong comedy, you get a bonus for having like the best play that suits the king's mood. And it's just like a super fun game where you're simultaneously selecting locations to go to recruit these actors to build out your troupe.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that comes into like trying to play the players, and like, that person's been to City 8. It's just this guy and I don't think he's going to go to 8. He's been looking for this. He's going to go to City 3. I'm going to go to City 8. And you reveal cards, and inevitably you all go to the same location, which means those actors just flee because I guess like too many people want their attention. Hey, scatter! Hey! And they all run away. And so it's really fun to kind of like play the players and get the people to put on a play that's just like produced. There's like little minis for these little roosters and the caravels that you put in the different places. The cars and the art's beautiful. Histrio's amazing, sweet, light game. Love that game so much. And it's either by Bombix or Libellud. I don't know.
It's by Bombix.
Yeah,
it's a Bombix game.
Is it?
But
what is Dice Forge? Bombix.
Nope.
Bombix.
Libellud.
Is it?
Yeah, definitely. My number 22 is a game about a bass. Set in space. It's space. Space is my number 22. This is a game. A lot of people say it's the better version of Machikoro. We don't know. We've never played Machikoro.
I have no interest because Space.
After playing Space, I'm like, cool. I never need to play Machikoro now. Yep. It is just such a good game where you are building out your space base, and your base is has 12 slots on it, and those are the 12 possible dice rolls, essentially, because you're always rolling 2 dice. And depending on what you roll, you get to activate the spots in there. So the cool thing is about the game, though, is it's 1 through 12. So the thing is, it's 1 through 12, not 2 through 12, because when you roll the dice, you can either activate both numbers, or you can activate the sum of the 2 numbers. So if you have 1 and a 4, you can activate the 1 slot and the 4 slot, or you can activate the 5 slot.
Yeah.
So it's up to you depending on how your things works out. And then throughout the game, you're gaining money and you're buying new cards, and this card goes in like the 6 slot. So you put in the 6 slot, and then the card that was on the 6 slot gets turned around and gets put behind your space base. And then it sticks out the back. And then what that is when other people roll on their turns, if they roll the numbers that are sticking out the back, you get to activate those.
Yeah.
And so you're always engaged in what's going on, because no matter who's rolling what, you're always getting stuff on other people's turns. You're getting more money, you're getting more points, you're getting all these different stuff. So there's literally 0 downtime. And on top of that, the game moves. It just moves around.
Because you're just rolling your dice, getting your stuff, and then buying something.
Yeah, and then
like
just go moving on.
That's all you're going to be doing.
Moving on. And then even with 2 players, 5 players, it doesn't make much of a difference. It just moves, and it's great. And I love this game. This is such a great game to introduce people to, because again, it's just such a fun, great game that's, got definite strategy stuff like that, but isn't too heavy, but just moves like super fast and has no downtime. I keep saying the same thing over and over again. I love it, love it, love it. Space Base is wonderful.
It's fantastic.
Get it, try it, love it.
Bow.
All right, that's it. Number 21.
Let's do 21.
Ooh,
let's get
one of this list.
to it,
Let's
man.
do it.
See if we can make each other upset one more time in this list. It's happened before. Could happen again.
No, it won't happen to me.
21. it's not over yet. 21.
How many times must the cannonballs fly before they are forever bailed? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. Does anybody know this guy? Who was that guy?
I thought he sounded good.
All right. This is part of my Bombix list. This, of I number 21, is a game that Mike mentioned earlier in this list, and that is Abyss.
That's Lubellid.
It's a build. Sorry.
the Ballad game.
The classic Mayfair game, Abyss.
Yes.
Abyss is a game by Brute Catala, Brukels Katuckles, who's a
Brooks
lovely...
and Katooks.
Brukels and the Katuckles, dude.
Famously Irish.
He's just the best. He's the best at what he does. I just love him so much. And on top of that, he's like the nicest dude on the planet.
Really nice guy.
But nonetheless, as everything Mike said, it's a game you're vying for control and influence in this cool underwater world, and it is my favorite art in any game ever is in Abyss. It is the best art ever. I think it's the best looking game. It's super overproduced, and I love that. I love every second of it, and I love the fact that it's ultimately a pretty light, straightforward game. I played this for the first time at MeepleCon with Z. Z's the one who introduced it to us, and I instantly was just like, Mike's got to play this game. He's going to love this game. So we ended up getting it, and Mike loves it too. It was not too far from this one.
Yep.
It's nothing else to be said. It's just amazing. And it's so cool in this really cool thematic world. And just get it for the art. And the art and the pearls. That's all you need in life.
The art and them pearls, man. Them componies.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's great light
So
set
good.
collection game with fantastic art.
It's the best. All right, Abyss, my 21.
Nice. My 21 has been mentioned by you on this section of the list as well. This represents one of the most significant drops from last year, and it is a deck builder by the name of Marble Legendary, man.
Yeah.
And that's not to suggest that it's bad. It's simply, as Nick was talking about, we've cooled on it in terms of, like, we played it so much. And last year when we did our top 10s and stuff, we very much were still close to that time where we were playing it over and over and over again.
Yeah,
and we still love it. We just played it the other day, and I still have fun every single time we play it. It's just not going to get to the table as often anymore now that we have, like, more games, you know, and we have played that game a lot. So, you know, we've kind of experienced it, but it is going to remain with the collection. It is going to get played from time to time. It will always be satisfying when we do play it. But just, you know, we've played a lot of really fantastic games in the last year. We've been very lucky to play it. And so other things have kind of usurped it a little bit.
And that's totally fine, you know?
That doesn't make this game any less good. It's just like there's been some games where I'm like, whoa, you know, that I had no idea that existed at the time that we did our last list. So my number 21 is Marble Legendary. I love it. I love being able to play Wolverine with Captain America, with Doctor Strange, with Thanos, you know what I mean? Like, you can just mix together weird combinations of people and see how they work together. If they work together and try to take down various masterminds and stuff, it's just fun, cooperative. It's 100% full cooperative. Anyone plays it semi-cooperative, I don't even understand. Love that game, though.
It's
classic in our collection. Classic.
Yeah, classic, at this point.
Yeah, Marble Legendary.
All right, Marble Legendary, that is your 21, and that is the end of this installment of this list. Oh, man, we're about to hit the top 20. Like, this is about to get real.
I know.
In a second.
I'm so curious.
Oh, me too.
Like, what's yet to come? I know of a few that are for sure going to pop up, but like...
Let's see, are there any strangers in here?
Any strangers?
Like some ones that you're really like, no way. Yeah, maybe a couple, but I think it's going to be great. Nonetheless, tune in next time for our top 20 to 11, and then it's going to be the big top 10. But thank you so much for sticking around for this long. Please make sure to check us out over on YouTubes and over on the Twitch. And and check us out. We love playing games. We do top 10s and all sorts of silly videos over on our YouTube. We play games live on Twitch.
Yeah.
Super fun. Give us a subscription. You heard it before. We love you. You done it.
We'll see y'all in the teens real soon.
Wow.
Bye, everybody.
Peace.
I hurt myself.
Nope.
Today.
Nope.
See if I still feel.
Morons. This whole list, the ravings of two idiots. I add at the
the song 'cause I'm an idiot. Those John Deere tractors are just hideous. Oh, who would want to be seen riding one of those when you could be spraying some mad, sexy hair? Idiots. I edit the song 'cause